Imagine waking up one morning only to find out the entire planet has been turned into a reality show for aliens. Not a dream, not a sci-fi movie. And you're not the star. You're the entertainment. That's exactly what happens to Carl. Just your average dude, recently dumped, a bit bitter, a bit sarcastic, and definitely not prepared for what's coming. He doesn't have time to process, pack, or even panic. Earth's surface gets wiped out, leaving only the lucky few who happen to be inside sturdy enough buildings, or, in Carl's case, a stairwell. A stairwell. That's all that stood between him and total annihilation. And from that moment forward, everything changes. Carl isn't just surviving. He's suddenly a contestant in an alien game show, an intergalactic dungeon crawler where death isn't just possible, it's expected. Billions watched Earth get wiped out. Now billions more are watching the survivors scramble through floors of brutal, bizarre, and often downright hilarious challenges. And get this, none of them signed up for this. It's like if Wipeout met the Hunger Games and then took a shot of pure chaos. Now here's what's fascinating. Carl doesn't face this nightmare alone. He's got his ex-girlfriend's cat with him. But this isn't just any cat. Princess Donut. Bougie, high maintenance, with a diva attitude, and somehow, she's granted speech. Not only that, she's granted magic. And let me tell you, she does not let Carl forget who the real queen is in this duo. Together, they dive into a world filled with traps, monsters, loot drops, pop-up tutorials, and dungeon floors that would make even the toughest gamer sweat. But here's the twist, it's not just about leveling up. It's about keeping your humanity intact when everything around you is designed to strip it away. The game, if you can call it that, is run by an alien race who treat pain like popcorn entertainment. Everything is monetized. Kill a monster? Maybe you get a reward. Maybe you get cursed. Maybe your stats go up. Maybe your head explodes. The rules are constantly shifting, and the only thing you can count on is unpredictability. And yet, Carl adapts. Not because he wants to win some cosmic prize, but because he's angry. He's hurting, and he refuses to let the galaxy treat him like a joke. But let me tell you something surprising. Amid the carnage and chaos, there's humor. Tons of it. Carl's sarcasm is sharp. His commentary feels like listening to your funniest, grumpiest friend trying to explain why life sucks, while dodging lasers. And Donut? Her obsession with fashion, royalty titles, and fancy loot is so over the top, you can't help but laugh. Yet somehow, their banter becomes the beating heart of this insane journey. It's weirdly wholesome. A man and a magical cat against the universe. Now here's where things get really interesting. The deeper they go into the dungeon, floor after floor, the more they realize that this whole thing isn't just a game. It's a test. Or maybe a trap. They meet other survivors. Some kind, some ruthless, some clinging to sanity by a thread. And the more Carl learns about the system, the more he starts to see cracks, loopholes, flaws. Maybe, just maybe, there's a way to fight back. Not just to survive, but to beat the system from within. But that comes at a cost. Trust becomes a luxury. Every alliance is temporary. Every decision could kill you. And just when Carl starts to feel like he's getting the hang of things, the game flips again. New rules, new bosses, new betrayals. It's like the dungeon itself is alive, watching, adapting. And the viewers? They're voting. They're commenting. They're placing bets. It's not just a crawl, it's a spectacle. Emotionally, it's a roller coaster. 1 minute you're laughing at Donut declaring herself a duchess of the glittering frost. The next you're mourning a companion who didn't make it past a mimic door. The stakes feel real. The pain feels earned. And somehow, amidst all the alien madness, Carl starts rediscovering something he didn't expect: purpose. He's no longer just reacting. He's making plans. Small ones at first, then bigger, then revolutionary. What's so genius about this book is how it blends pure entertainment with sharp commentary. On surveillance, on consumer culture, on how easily humanity sells itself when survival's on the line. But it never gets preachy. The story moves. Every floor reveals a new twist, a new horror, a new laugh-out-loud moment. And yet, Through it all, Carl remains stubbornly, beautifully human. Flawed. Funny. Furious. There's this one moment, I won't spoil the details, but Carl has to make a decision that could give him an easy out at the cost of someone else's life. And the way he wrestles with it? It hits hard. Because suddenly you're not just reading about some space dungeon, you're thinking about what you would do. What you would sacrifice. And that's the magic of it. You're pulled in not just by the action, but by the moral weight behind it. And the upgrades? Oh man, the system itself is addictive. Every time Carl or Donut levels up, you're rooting for the right skill. The right perk. Some of them are hilarious. Some are terrifying. And some are just plain weird, like a passive ability that makes your farts explode. Yeah, you read that right. But even in those absurd moments, there's strategy. 6. And a feeling that everything counts. Every small choice has ripple effects. What do you think happens next? Do Carl and Donut keep rising? Or does the dungeon finally chew them up and spit them out like all the others? The deeper they go, the more they uncover secrets that could shake the entire galactic order. But they're just two nobodies, right? A man and a talking cat. What difference could they possibly make? So here's the wild part. Carl, for all his sarcasm and rough edges, starts turning into something more than just a survivor. He becomes a symbol. Not intentionally. He's not trying to be a hero. But when everyone else is playing the dungeon's game, Carl starts playing his own. He questions the rules, pushes boundaries, exploits the glitches. And viewers, billions of alien species across the universe, start noticing. Some cheer for him. Some want him dead. And some are paying very close attention to what he might do next. But it's not just the aliens watching. Other crawlers, the ones still alive, start gravitating toward Carl. Not because he's the strongest or smartest, but because he doesn't fake it. He calls out the system. He fights dirty when he has to. But he also sticks by his allies, especially Donut. And that loyalty, that unpredictability, it changes the game. Literally. The dungeon's AI starts modifying challenges around him, making things harder, more twisted. It's like the system knows he's a threat, not because he's unbeatable, but because he refuses to break. And let's talk about Donut for a second. She starts as this ridiculous, pampered cat who demands 5-star loot and insists on calling herself royalty. But as they push deeper, her magic grows stronger. Her instincts sharper. She becomes a true force, not just comic relief. And her bond with Carl? It turns from reluctant companionship into something much deeper. A partnership forged in fire, blood, and a shared desire to not just survive, but to flip the whole damn script. There's one particular floor, one of the mid-levels, where the game tries to tempt Carl with a simulation of his old life. All his favorite things. 6. A house. A warm bed. Safety. And for a moment, you wonder, is he going to stay? Has the dungeon finally found a way to break him? But Carl's reaction? Pure gold. He laughs, calls the simulation out for the cheap illusion it is, and then sets the whole thing on fire. That's the moment you realize he's done playing defense. From that point on, he's on the offensive. What's brilliant is that the story never slows down. Every floor adds complexity. We meet bizarre new species, some friendly, some straight-up nightmares. We get deeper insight into the twisted politics behind the dungeon's creation. Turns out, this show isn't just entertainment. It's part of a much bigger system. A hierarchy. A power play between alien factions. And Earth? Just another pawn in a game that's been going on for centuries. But Carl? He's not interested in galactic politics. Not at first. He just wants to keep his friends alive. Find a way to end the game. Maybe blow the whole operation up if he gets the chance. And through it all, he keeps cracking jokes. Keeps grieving. Keeps caring. That's what sets him apart. He feels everything. And he never stops being real. By the end of this part of the journey, Carl's no longer the same guy who stumbled into a stairwell wearing a bathrobe. He's bruised, evolved, and a whole lot deadlier. But he's also more determined than ever. And the galaxy? It's watching. Waiting. Because for the first time in a long time, someone inside the dungeon isn't just playing the game. He's rewriting it. Now here's the unexpected insight. Dungeon Crawler Carl isn't just a sci-fi action story. It's a mirror. It reflects everything about modern life, our obsession with reality TV, our addiction to systems that chew us up and reward obedience, our tendency to laugh at others' pain if it's packaged as content. But it also reminds us that sometimes the most powerful rebellion is simply refusing to lose yourself. Carl never asked to be a hero, but in a world where everything is fake, he chooses to be real. And that's the kind of story you don't forget. Feel like you're meant for more, but don't know how to get there? You're not alone. Every success story starts with doubt and a spark. The Self-Made Millionaire, Zero to Wealth isn't just a book. It's your roadmap to purpose, confidence, and success, built on real lessons from real millionaires. One reader said, "It didn't feel like a book. It felt like my future talking to me." Inside, you'll find the exact mindset and principles used by the world's most successful people. No fluff, just real, life-changing wisdom. Ready to take the first step? Get it 100% free. Just subscribe and comment "book" below.